Welcome to HackTheFile. I'm Michael Lopez, and on today's episode, we're going to be looking at um, finishing up the ethical hacking book series with chapter 15 and then briefly looking at chapter 16. Enjoy. All right, I'm back. Man, I've been gone because I've been busy. I've been busier than a damn beaver. I've been busier than a bumblebee. Um, like I said, I'm teaching now at a local community college, and I am basically getting my lectures down, and I'm also getting my master's online. So I am really busy. I got family and stuff, so I'm MIA, missing in action. But um, this whole week I have spring break. So I'm gonna try to make as many videos as I can because I am fiending for these videos. I just I love to do them, and I'm excited to get back. And I want to finish up this ethical hacking book series. Hopefully, we can finish up this chapter, and then the next video we'll get into like the chapter 16, the next steps, and put this bad boy to rest. And just what we can do is we'll go through it and say everything we've learned and all that, and then we'll be able to reference this book, right? So now we have it in our mind and our memory. So if you've gone through this series with me, bravo. I mean, this has taken years, and at least almost 2 years now. I've been doing it off and on, and we're about to finish it. And I can honestly say we went through most of these chapters. Some of them we couldn't, right? For various reasons. And I think a couple of these YouTube banned my videos, so I had to skip the chapters. Right? They literally just took the videos off and then threatened me to shut my channel down. That's how pretty good this book is. And what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll talk about everything. Okay. Just briefly and what we learned and put this bad boy to rest. But let's pick up from where we left off. I said I was going to split that last chapter 15, into two videos. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to do as much as we can, as much as I can, okay? Without having to go back and look up hacks. And I mean, if I've got to, because we've done, so we've done everything in here, okay? Some stuff worked, some stuff didn't work, but we've attempted to do it. And so what we want to do is, I don't want to redo something we've done 7 times already, just to wrap up the chapter. So if we've done it 1,000 times, we just want to go ahead and just, since we're at the end of the book, we want to just go ahead and skip it, okay? But if it's something new that I haven't done or we haven't done, then obviously we're going to try to do it, okay? All right, let's get this rocking. So attacking the DNS server, okay? The DNS server is a key part of the domain controller. It allows machines in the domain to find the IP addresses of other machines on the network. For example, a file server might contain a shared network folder called patient records. When a user enters patient records into their file explorer, the operating system will communicate with the domain controller's DNS server to find the file server IP addresses. If the DNS service contains an entry for the patient records, it will respond with the corresponding IP address. The file explorer will then attempt to connect to the server and access the files, assuming that it has permission to do so. However, the DNS lookup fails, for example, if the user mistypes the name, perhaps forgetting the S and typing in patient record. Instead, the operating system will fall back on a less secure protocol called LINK, Local Multicast Name Resolution, LLMNR, to discover a machine on the network that can respond to the request. The LLMNR is a broadcast protocol, So many machines, so many machines on the network can respond to the request. Wait, so any machine on the network can respond to the request. This allows attackers to respond with a malicious message, an attack called the LLMR poisoning. Figure 15.3 shows the steps in the LLMNR poisoning attack. Domain controller. Okay, here's your victim. Other machines on the domain, and then the hacker. Okay. The victim generates a DNS request, and this request is sent to the domain controller. Yes. The domain controller DNS. Okay, the domain controller's DNS service tells the victim that it couldn't find the request entry. So the victim's machine resorts to the LLMNR protocol. It broadcasts a message asking if any machines have the patient record folder. All right, so let's do this in one. So one, it goes to the main controller. The main controller says it couldn't find the request. Two, the victim's machine, so it does the LLMNR protocol. And then three, broadcasting messages asking if the machines have the patient records, and the attacker will respond with a message to the effect of, I can help you, but you need to authenticate. Send me your NTLM hash. 4. If the victim's machine responds to the message, you'll have captured the user's NTLM password hash. This is just what is it called? LLMNR poisoning. So it's a DNS hack. Pretty cool. If the LLMNR fails, the client will fall back to the less secure protocol NetBIOS name service MBTNS. LLMNR and MBTNS aren't the only protocols that are vulnerable to this type of poisoning attack. Suppose an attacker performs an ARP spoofing attack, I already know what that is, and pretends to be the DNS server. Oh, yeah. They could then capture the NTLM hash from the correct DNS lookup. Oh, yeah. You can use the responder tool to perform these attacks. It lets you maliciously respond to various network protocols and capture the associated hashes. You can get a copy of Responder by cloning its GitHub repository to your. You can get a copy of Responder, okay, to your Kali Linux virtual machine. So let's do that. I'm gonna move this over, and we'll get logged into my Kali box. Let's open up a terminal, and let's type git clone https github.com/lgandx responder. Let's see what happens. Enumerating objects, counting objects, compressing objects. Alright, looks like it's done. Okay, let's go here. Okay, start Responder by running it on your Kali Linux virtual machine. Then enter in a dummy folder such as patient records in the Windows virtual machine. In the Windows virtual machine. Is it a Python application? Oh, nice. Alright. So So let's look at this. Where the hell is my? I just got a message from my wife, so just give me a second. What the hell am I looking up? Oh, so let's run this. I guess it's a Python program. Sudo Python 3 responder dot py minus I etho. ETH 0 minus B. No. Okay, can't open file home Kali responder.py. No such file in directory. Where did I put this? We'll open here. So I'll open the terminal here. I'll run that again. And then I'll run this. No such file. See what I did wrong. So you can use the responder tool to perform these attacks. Oh, I forgot. I have to make a malicious file. So what? Responder.py? Responder.py. Can't open file. Home Kelly desktop responder.py. I don't have a responder.py. Was I supposed to make that before or what? Let's read this again. If the victim's machine responds, okay, you can use the responder tool to perform these attacks. It lets you maliciously respond to various network protocols and complete so you can get a copy of responder by cloning the GitHub repository to your. Start responder by running it on your Kali Linux. Oh, okay. Then create it. Okay, so we need to start responder first. Well, why is that in the Windows virtual machine? Yeah. Oh. Okay, so I'll just responder. So I forgot to start the damn thing. Okay, now responder must run as root. Why? I forgot how to do that kung fu. Like that? Oh, why did it make two? Oh, that was my last command. Huh. That's odd. Error. If mandatory option is mandatory option is missing. What the hell? What's mandatory option? Responder. Okay, let me see. DNS, whatever. Yeah. Okay. To support this project, hit author. To kill this script, hit Control C. Error. I if mandatory option is missing. What the hell does that mean? Oh, okay, let's see. Let's see how let's see how you install this crap. So it needs to be ran at root. Is that what it said? Oh, all right. Let's see real quick what I'm doing wrong here. Where's my? Guess I don't have to put sudo. Let's say I. There you go. So, all right. So we got it run. Well, we got it up and running. All right. So the I option specifies the interfaces. It will listen and respond on. And the dash V says to generate verbose output. You'll find the NTLM version 2 hash that was captured during the attack. Where's that? 1? Should be hacker 1 desktop. Alright, let's see what mine is. So HTTP MT, I don't see anything there. H off. Poisoning options off. Oh, so once we turn all the put on, you can now crack this hash using the techniques discussed in chapter 12, or you are using it in a pass the hash attack. Attacking all. So how do I turn these on? Let's find out. So since it's listening, but oh wait a minute, there's more up here. Man, let's see. Alright, so poisoners, L, L, M, and R on, MBT and S on, DNS on, DHCP off. We don't care about that. Listening to event sending. Okay, so what did it want us to do? Oh, we had to create a dummy file. Okay, wait. By running on your Kali X version, then enter in a dummy file folders such as patient records. Okay, let's do that. Do we do that and see if it. All right, listening for events. Okay, so create a folder. We'll call it dummy records. Dummy. This dummy don't even know how to spell dummy. Dummy records. I didn't say dummy records. It wants patient records. Patient records. Let's see what it catches. By running the calendar version, then enter dummy folders such as patient records in the Windows virtual machine. I already did that. All right, so let's try this again. I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna delete this. And I made one called records instead. Okay, so I deleted the other one. Made one called records. And we're gonna reopen this in root, I guess. Okay, and then we're gonna rerun this. And we'll do the -v. Okay, so that's listening. Okay, so now this is how this works, right? This all this is it responds to DNS requests, right? Is that what it said? Anyways, so it's what kind of attack is this? Is this a man in the middle attack? I mean, this could, this is a man in the middle attack. Okay, this is intercepting, or whatever it said how it functions, right? We already read that how it functions. So let's kind of think about this and how this is supposed to work. So I went back and I started all over and I read all this chapter because apparently I skipped a chapter. Okay. So this is attacking the DNS service. So if you don't know what the DNS service is, you're gonna have to Google it. Okay. It's you have to Google it. I can't explain everything. Can't go deep into it. Okay, but if somebody is trying to access this shared file, right? This is saying this is contains a shared file network folder. So when you say that, that means that anybody can access this file from anywhere on the network, right? So let's say if I'm on the network somewhere and I enter in the IP address /patient records, right? I can access that file because it's shared. Or I could if it's Windows or whatever, I could double click on the network and open it, right? And then you'd have to enter in your credentials or something, right? So this is saying that it's going to fail, right? So however, if the DNS lookup fails, for example, if they mistype it or whatever, so then so it's going to intercept it and it's going to steal somebody's credentials. That's all it's doing. Okay, so let's run it and see what happens. So let's say I'm on the network. Let's say I'm on the network, right? And so I'm going to simulate this by going online, right? So I'm going to type in my IP address, and the IP is right here, right, for this machine or whatever. Because I want to access a file on this machine, right? Now this would probably be for your victim's machine or whatever, right? Whoever is trying to access a folder, it's going to be on that IP address, right? So I'm going to type in here, what folder was that? Records. Okay, so here's the IP address, here's the records. Okay, so now this is what, see how it's intercepting now. So it's, sending NTLM authentication requests. So it's responding to what I did, right? So now I'm gonna say, okay, username is Mike or whatever, and then my password is whatever, right? And I do that, and the victim's gonna go, okay, so this must be, I have to sign in, and then don't save it or whatever, right? And then it's gonna be like, oh, it didn't work. But see, now responder responded to that, basically intercepted it, the man in the middle or whatever it did, and took the hash of, so it took my username. So you see Mike, from it showed my IP address, and it took down a hash, right? So now I could pop this into like hash cracker or you know whatever tool I'm going to use to crack this hash. Okay, and that's it. That's as simple as it is. It basically acts as like a man in the middle, or um, it responds to a DNS request, right? And the like we read what it does, but I see it, as like a man in the middle attack. It or ARP spoofing or something like that, right? It intercepted it, responded with its own, and then it captured everything that we gave it, right? So that's as simple as that. Now we can take we. I think I'd cover a bunch of videos where we took these hashes and we cracked them, but you can pop this into Jack the Ripper. You can pop it into all kinds of stuff, right? And try to crack it. So that's it. That's how that works. That was pretty cool though. So now we want to attacking Active Directory and LDAP services. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna scan this over. And if not, we'll just read through it and see what it does, and then um, go from there. So let's go ahead and control C this, cancels it. Okay, and I'm not gonna crack that hash, um, but you know I've got some videos where we're cracking hashes. So attacking Active Directory and LDAP services. The second service hosted by the domain controller is the Active Directory service, which is a database of objects in the domain. Which is a database of the objects in the domain. These objects include user and security policies and shared machines such as printers and desktops. Okay. The user objects contain information such as usernames and password hashes. Security groups objects contain information on privileges afforded to the group, as well as members attributed to the list users associated with the security group. By storing all users' information in a single repository, you can give users access to multiple machines without having to store their usernames and passwords on these devices. This is this is useful in places like libraries, banks, or corporate offices where users often share machines and printers. Other operating systems besides Windows offer their own directory services. These services, such as the 389 directory server and Apple Open Directory, use custom protocols and queries. However, requiring operating systems to implement every directory access protocol is infeasible. Instead, they often implement the LDAP, a standard protocol that devices can use to interface with most directory services. The LDAP service translates LDAP style queries into the query format supported by the backend directory service. This means that clients have to support only the LDAP protocols because the LDAP service abstracts the backend directory service. The LDAP protocol represents data in the form of a directory information tree, DIT. Figure 15.4 shows a DIT, for example, version of a bank.com domain. Domain DC Bank. Organization unit, staff. Organization unit, machines. Teller station, station 2, teller station, and a printer. Organization unit or staff. OU manager, tellers, Monique. Okay, so that makes sense. At the root of the DIT is the domain. Or is domain DC Bank DC.com? Is it this one? This one? Okay. The value DC equals bank, DC equals com is the distinguished name, which uniquely identifies a component in the tree. In this case, DC doesn't represent the domain controller, but rather refers to the domain component. A little confusing, I know, but this is standard notation. Here, the domain bank.com has two domain components, bank and bank and com. Below the domains are two OUSs. One of these represents machines and the other OU represents users. The distinguished name for the person with the unique ID Monique is DC Bank. EDC equals bank, DC equals com, OU equals staff, OU equals manager, UID equals Monique. That's her right there. So it went this way, this. In this way, in addition to unique identifying, in this way, in addition to uniquely identifying a component, the distinguished name also identifies the path to the object in the tree. Writing an LDAP query client. LDAP can be a helpful tool for gaining access to domain controllers. Yes. If we gain access to the domain controller, game over. Which stores the credentials for all users on the network and can also create user accounts. Hold on, what's going on here? Somebody's texting me. Okay. We can control the network. If we can control the domain controller, we can create our own administrator account and log into the machine we please. However, the credentials we extract from some machines on the network might not necessarily grant us access to the domain controller. Instead, we need to move from the machine to machine, extracting more privileged credentials until we find some that give us the access we need. To efficiently do this, you need to understand the structure of the network you're attacking. Attackers can learn about the structure of the corporate network by querying the LDAP server on the domain controller. For example, an attacker might execute queries to the effect of, how many machines are on the network? How many users are there? How many users are there? Or which user are members of the administrator? Which users are members of the administrator group? Remember, knowledge is power. By executing queries like these, the attacker can map the network and discover a path to a domain controller. A process known as enumeration. Let's make these ideas of the LAP queries and enumeration more concrete by writing a Python program that will query an LDAP server. This LDAP client, which we call infopro.py, will retrieve a list of all the users in the network. Didn't we already do this? Sure, we already did this, but it's okay. We'll use the LDAP3 Python library to develop our client. So let's install it by using pip3. Okay, so let's install this. Let's try this. Let's create this. And also, I can copy and paste from this book now. So it should go a lot faster if it works. Okay. Let's see. I know I already have my. Well, no, I don't have the. Let's see if we have this. So I'm gonna put sudo pip 3 install LDAP 3. See what happens. Okay, so it's not wanting it in a. It wants me to create an environment. Okay, so this environment is external matters to install packages system wide. Try the app. If you wish to install a non-Kali package, create a virtual environment using Python. Let's do that. All right, let me see how we do the environment, because that was not correct. So you'll be creating your name, anything. Okay, so VI virtual environment. User bin Python 3 virtual environment. What are we calling this? What are we doing? Let me see. We're writing a Python. I'm just gonna put ethical hacking. All right, let's see. If I could spell. What the hell did I spell? PYT. Jeez. What the heck did I do? Oh. Man, I spelled it even worse. What happened? Like I said, it's created virtual environment. C Python 3 blah blah. Created Python clear blah blah blah. Okay, I think that worked. Now we want to activate it, and this is what I always forget: how to activate this crap. So I don't know why you have to put source. Source virtual environment. What was it? Ethical hacking. Bin activate. Okay, so I'm in here. I've created a little virtual environment so I can create Python stuff and put libraries in it and all kinds of stuff. And when I'm done, remind me to deactivate this crap. Okay, so if you guys forget how to do that, just all you do is you Google, how do I start a Python environment in Linux? Okay, it's easy. So that's what I typed in. I cut that out, but I'm going to show you what I did. So, because I couldn't remember how to activate it. So how do I start a Python environment in Linux? Okay, and then I just looked here. I found this one. No, not that one. But that one will probably tell you too. Okay, and I just clicked on one of these and they show you got to explore. But that's how you do it. Because I forgot, I knew how to do how to create it. I just couldn't remember how to start the damn thing. And apparently, you can start it different ways, I guess. Because I don't remember ever using Source. But okay, I'm in there now. And if you don't know what this is, Google it. Just Copilot it or something. It'll tell you what it is. All it is you're creating a little virtual environment within a virtual environment. In this case, within a virtual environment. And then we're just gonna write our programs in here. That way we can add all our libraries and stuff from Python, and it'll work better and stuff. So for instance, let's go back to this. We're going to now we're gonna install this LDAP3. So pip install LDAP, and I'm gonna sudo this bad boy just for shits and giggles. Oh, it still won't let me do it, and I'm in a virtual environment. I don't understand that. Well, it's probably because maybe I don't have to sudo it. Yeah, I don't have to sudo that bad boy. What happened though? Downloading, installing, getting error, subprocess exited with error. See, this is the stuff that we run into when we do stuff for bugs. Building will from LDAP project did not run successfully. This dummy project is not installable. You probably want Python LDP instead. What's the difference? Well, let's copy that. Let's see if that will. Oh God, really? Let's see if that works. Python LDAP. This is widely so it's probably most likely this is deprecated. This LDAP, because that's the way the world works. So we're gonna try that. I'm gonna clear this, and then we're gonna try that. Because everything is just deprecated now, right? It's constant. Oh, I didn't even update my machine or anything, so that's another thing. Let's update everything first. Sometimes, when you did not run this successfully, of course it didn't. All right, so let's open this. Oh, it's an upgrade. No, it's an app update. So what I'm doing is I'm updating all my packages or all my apps, since it's app update. It's just basically where all your I just looked this up the other day, and then my brain's not working today. Anyways, it's just where all your apps are, and then you're updating it, and you're getting everything updated. And you usually want to run a app update and an apt upgrade. While that's doing that, I'm going to explain something here. I'm gonna co-pilot this bad boy, and I'm gonna say, what is app update in Linux? That way I can explain it better, because I just looked this up. So apt update is a command used in Linux system that utilizes advanced package tool (APT) package management systems such as Debian and Boilerplate. Its purpose is to refresh the package index cache by fetching the latest information about available packages from the repository in your system source, etc. app sources.list. So basically, it grabs the latest information. That's what it did. Can be upgraded. So let's upgrade it. Then it says essentially ensure that your system does. So every time you want to do this, you want to do this before you install or something, or anything. Okay, install something or anything. You want to do this. Um, it doesn't install or upgrade packages. If you want to update and upgrade your install software, so we can run. After we do that, we're gonna run upgrade, right? So we can. This one's gonna take a minute, but sudo app upgrade, okay, which is fine because um, for some of you that don't know, this is pretty cool to understand what I'm doing. You're probably like, what is he upgrading and all this crap for, and updating and stuff? Well, this is just updating all your apps, right? And then and in Linux, I mean, it's built off of all these apps and libraries and all that crap, right? Okay, so you want to run app update and then upgrade, okay, before you start installing stuff. This is gonna take a minute, so I'm just gonna pause this. But just a little quick lesson. Well, I think what I'm gonna start doing now, instead of telling you guys to Google it, I'm gonna say Google it still. If you don't know what that is, Google it. Okay, but I think that in some cases, like right now, if I have some time, I might as well just teach you what it is, right? And this is for the people that are following me that would like that, right? So they're watching and they're like, oh, this is so cool, but I have no clue, what you know why is he updating and upgrading before he tries to install Python package or try to solve what he's doing, trying to do what he's doing. And it's because that's often the problem. So if you run into something where you can't install it and it's giving you hell and errors and all that, you probably want to do this first to update everything, right? And then try to do it again, and then go from there. And then if you still have the problem, sometimes it solves the problem, right? It just needed one of these apps upgraded, right, or updated and upgraded, whatever, and then or installed. It's missing something, right? And it'll tell you. That's why I look at a lot of stuff, because it'll tell you what's wrong with it. That's why I always say read your command prompts. Rule number one. Now, for the people that have been watching me for a long time or for a while, I've said this many times. Rule number one: read your command prompts. Do not skip them, close them, because that makes no sense. How are you supposed to know what the heck is going on, or what you just did, or if something worked, if you don't read your damn command prompts? That's why the software engineers put command prompts in there. Okay, so half of the stuff you're running, the software engineers or whatnot will put a command prompt in there, an error command prompt, to give you some kind of guidance on what's going on if something didn't run in the program or something, right? You just read your command prompts is rule number one, because it guides you on how to fix your problem, and also it gives you information to look up and figure out a solution to fix your problem. You're not going to, that's the whole point of my channel. None of this stuff is going to work right off the bat. I mean, look, either you're getting resources that are running on deprecated software or whatever, but you need to be able to do the research on your own to find the answer, okay? And the more information you get, especially from command prompts, right, and guidance you get, you're going to solve all these problems. You're going to be able to run it, solve it, and I'd say you're more valuable as opposed to somebody that just gives up, right? But that's the whole point of my channel. Like, I've done that. I've given up. I've come across something, especially in these books, where I'm like, yeah, I can't figure it out. I'm done. And but you got to keep going. you got to try to figure that out. Find the information and figure that out. So rule number one: read your command prompts. Okay, so let's let this update, and then I'll get back to you. All right, as you can see, that sucker did update. Gave me a new background and everything. Let's that actually took about an hour. I went off and did all kinds of other stuff and came back. That took about an hour. Um, so let's look at um. Wait a minute. Let's see. What am I doing? I'm doing this one. All right. Let's look to see if we can install this now. This LDAP3, and it's going to be the Python. I think it's deprecated. So let's try this. We're gonna pip this. Pip 3. And it might be deprecated. Yeah, it looks like it still is. So we're gonna go to, it's saying use Python LDAP instead. So let's use that. I don't know why it does that. Let's see what this one says. Exit code 1, lines of output. Unknown distribution option, test suite. Okay, the error originates from a subprocess and is likely not a problem with pip. Alright, so I figured it out. It took me about an hour. So, and I don't know what happened to my command prompt. It's white now. But anyways, so I'll leave it like this for a minute. I updated everything, and I originally tried to install the Python LDAP. So if you look at like the errors that I had, it said that LDAP was deprecated, so you need to use Python LDAP, which I did. Then I had to redo another environment, right? So this one's my environment. So I had to get out that other environment, make a new one, and basically I searched for the errors, and I kind of came to the conclusion that the libraries needed to be updated for the Python. So the libraries, Python dev, and the build essentials, right? So I sudo apt install y library dev python dev library dev 2 library ssl dev and build essential, right? So I upgraded all that on my Python. So in other words, my Python needed to be updated. Okay, all the build libraries and stuff. Even though I updated and upgraded everything, you got to go in and do this. Now, I did some of these in the virtual environment, which is not right, I don't think. So you have to do it outside the virtual environment, right? Did that, ran the upgrades to Python, all the build essentials. You could pause it and see this, but this is basically what I did. Was I upgraded the Python libraries outside of my virtual environment. Then I went back into my virtual environment and I pip installed Python LDAP, and look, it worked, successful. So we're rocking. Okay, that's how you figure that stuff out. You gotta kind of think. So the number one rule when something's not working is I would Google to see if it's deprecated. What deprecated means that they don't use it no more. Second thing is I would Google and find out if anybody had the same errors as you. Um, and if none of that works, because they usually have you update the libraries anyways, right? If none of that works, look at the stuff that you're using. So obviously we're using Python. It's a Python program, okay? So or it's ran by Python libraries or whatnot. So go and upgrade everything on your Python, right? Not just your version, but all your libraries, like your build libraries and stuff like that. So you gotta kind of look that up. Okay, so now we're rocking. So now we got this. Finally, it took me an hour to figure that out. And I mean, this is the name of the game, right? This is basically what we're doing. So because nothing worked, but now we've got our virtual environment up. We've got pip3 installed, and I'm gonna go through this, and I'm gonna stop at this, right? Because we're not gonna use Sharphound, Bloodhound. You guys can do that. Because I'm telling you, I'm going to try to install that, and I'm going to take me another couple hours to figure why isn't that working. I mean, it just takes forever, right? But it's okay. Like then you got Tech and Kubrus. I actually want to do these, so what we're going to do is we're going to do one of these at a time since it's taking me so long even to get it up and running. I'm going to do these one at a time, one video at a time. So I've got that running. I think for now, I'm gonna stop, make another video, and we'll pick up on the LDAP enumeration, right? And go from there since I've got it installed. Okay. All right. I know I learned a lot in this video. Okay. So I mean, I always learn a lot uh, when I have trying to install something in Linux. Okay, that's the age old problem, right? You're trying to install something in Linux, you got to update and upgrade, and I mean, God knows everything. That's the beauty of Linux. I mean, you literally got to go and do and upgrade everything. So you know, it's good practice. Get in here, and I'm trying to install something that's supposed to be simple. This pip3 pulls from the Python libraries and installs it into your environment or wherever you need it, and it just was not working. It wasn't pip itself, the application. It was the Python builder libraries or whatever the heck were outdated, and so I mean, I am learning more and more about these errors I'm getting as I'm getting them, right? Because you're always going to get them because my virtual machine is not always up to date, or I'm doing something new, so it needs updating the libraries because they don't have they're out of date or something, or they don't have the right things. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm just constantly learning, and that's the name of the game when you're dealing with this stuff, right? Everybody thinks that it's all just glitz and glamour. Like you should like everything works right off the bat. I mean, that's not how it works. Okay, especially in these books. When you're learning from these books, they're old, they're outdated, and you got to figure out how to get everything to work. So we're up to here. On the next video, we'll start from here. The next ethical hacking, and hopefully we'll get this done. All right, that was Hack the File, and I hope you like this video. Hope you learned something, and I'll see you on the next one. Enjoy.